Alright, let's see if we got this working. Let's see. Test. I'm checking the volume. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if this is good. Cause I'm gonna be able to edit it later. That's my main thing. Test 1 2 1 2. Let's make sure that the volume is good. Cause I got my headset on right now. Got my headset on. Got my headset on. Got my headset on. Got my headset on. So now we're just seeing, testing if this works. Come on, come on. Where are you at? Are you playing? It says it's live. I'm just trying to get this going. First live that I did in a minute. If you're just tuning in and you're like, what is he doing? Like, give me just a few, few moments. There we go. Okay, dope. This sounds good. Let me see if I can change this around. Orientation is locked. Well, you said that the orientation is locked. Rotate. Okay, I guess I just gotta be like this then. F it. Let me see if I can. Alright. See if we can post this up. Shout out to whoever just came in. It might be myself. Shout out to whoever just came in. It might be myself. Oh man, that's funny. Okay, so what's good, everybody? I am trying to maximize time here, and I figure let me go ahead and go live because anything that I do on the live, I can then go back and I can take the video down and then do some other stuff. So right now I am good morning to y'all. If you're tuned in, hello. If it's the early AM where you're at, if not, good day to you in general, or good night to you. Right now, I am about to roll up. Like I said, I wanted to do something kind of different to help myself out. Usually I am. Mondays, I'm usually going doing my recording. So like right yesterday, I recorded a bunch of reactions, and then I right now I'm rendering them down and uploading and scheduling them. So, the Easy Meal fans out there, I finally got to the slashy show. Finally got to the slashy show, you know what I'm saying? And that was very, very interesting. Definitely very, very interesting. Um, I'm trying not to incriminate myself because I don't know what YouTube is like when it comes to marijuana. Marijuana. But let me, while I'm doing this, what did I want to talk about? Okay, so I wanted to talk about um this recent JJK chapter because I haven't done a review in a minute. Let me tell you, this chapter was interesting. I still don't know if Takaba is dead because it would have been different if so before we even get into that, so pretty much the chapter continues on where I actually got it right here. So, chapter goes on, and we have this dialogue with Takaba Kijaku on this stage. Just like the stage, as far as when they showed this promotional, was it a promotional art? I'm not 100% sure. Of Geto and Gojo on stage, which was very, very interesting. So, what I thought was interesting about this is that I don't think nothing is truly ever just filler as far as like things like this. Because I feel like if we dissect as far as the conversation, we might have just got some key information in regards to Kenjaku. You know what I mean? Like whether or not he was telling the truth, I'm not sure. But it definitely was like none of this stuff is by random, I would assume. Because there are several things that or several times that there seem to be little things in the manga that later on ended up being like, okay, this is super dope. You know, like that little bit of random information ended up being very important. And I'm trying to think of an example with that as far as because, Gege doesn't really have filler chapters, I've realized. For the most part, it may seem that way. Y'all let me know of a chapter that was like that. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but yeah, the majority of this chapter is that. It's just this dialogue between the two on stage, and they're actually like killing it on stage. I like how there was like random people that was just sitting up there. Oh, that's funny. How does it say that it's zero and I'm actually uh, okay? But it was interesting the different type of people that showed up. Like these are like actual just people laughing and interacting with them on stage, which I thought was very, very interesting. Um, but the main thing was the ending. The ending, because once Sakaba's just saw like, yo, this eventually has to end, you know, they go back to the reality. Takaba's sitting up there chilling and all white, like a burial type of thing. And it's just all like, yo, what is he doing? Is he dead? And then you think he's dead, but then he opens his eyes again and looks at Kenjaku and he's just like, thanks. And then Kenjaku looks genuinely like, yo, you're actually really funny, And we don't know if Takaba's dead. We'll find out at 244, I guess. Yuta comes through and chops Kenjaku's head off. And we find it's because normally Kenjaku would have been able to sense Yuta, because of his large curse energy, but apparently because Takaba can't kill anybody, that's why they sent Kenjaku, or they sent him to Kenjaku, because he'll be able to throw off his senses, and that will leave the ability for Yuta to come through. Sweet, 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 sweet. And I'm like, oh, snap, crackle, pop. Honestly, he should have did that. I tried to think, what was that on? Oh, Demon Slayer season 3 with a Wind Hashira chopped up old dude. Like he chopped his head off, and then to make sure it was good, like I was like, oh shit, he's definitely dead. Uh, but this one was interesting. Kajaku's just all like, oh, you've been here, the whole time. This was your plan, everything like that. And I was just all like, okay, that's dope, but what does this mean? Because Kenjaku is just like, my will be inherited. A lot of people are theorizing. There's a lot of theories going off the freaking rails at this point. Like, is Kenjaku really dead? Is he gonna take over Yuta? Is he gonna take over Gojo? Is Yuta just gonna? Are they gonna have Kenjaku just in this almost like gag where it's the talking head like Buggy or other things like that? Um, will Kenjaku, because of the Cullen games and this merger, would this be needed to give possibly Yuji another power up? There's so many questions that are just all like, okay, what is he gonna do? We're gonna find out next chapter, this chapter. So prediction wise, for 244, I think that we're either going to get some sort of backstory from of Kenjaku, and it's gonna make sense as far as like why he's doing what he is that he's doing, or we're gonna switch over to. There's a possibility we may switch over to the fight between Sukuna, Yuji, and lawyer dude, which would be interesting. Which would be interesting because we want to see how what's going on with Yuji. What's this new power up and everything like that. Not including the potential power up as far as with Kijaku, if that ends up being that way. So that's my predictions. I think it's not going to be anything too crazy. I think we may either get some insight of like preparations that was made. There's still we're getting to like the final, and there's still a lot of questions. But I feel like they're all going to be it's all going to be wrapped up pretty dope. Mm. Shout out to y'all tuning in, and if you're watching this later, shout out to you. And if you're watching this being clipped down, then you won't see this. Shout out to y'all tuning in. Okay, so that's still going good. So let's get this out here because we're doing some reactions. So wow, wow. Oh my goodness. So so that's interesting. And I know this may be random for the channel, but to me, it's not random because community relationships, this isn't a dating channel at all. This is a cultural channel. And to me, it's always fascinating as far as seeing stuff like this. And it's just all like, yo, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Like it always trips me out when you'll hear a solution. Doesn't matter the gender, but you'll hear a solution that you can obviously tell that that isn't the way that stuff works, like at all. At all. At all. Oh my gosh. Don't do it. Don't fly her out. See, here's my thing. Before I actually, I'm gonna let a few more of these play before I get off into something else. But this is what irritates me, dudes, fellas, guys. Quit doing this stuff. Stop. Stop paying for OnlyFans. Stop freaking flying girls out. Stop. Like this and it's one thing to be like, "Oh, why are you telling me what to do with my money?" Da 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 da. Look, you do whatever. Like for real. But what is the result? It's one thing if you're getting results. But a lot of stuff, lot of times we see some of this stuff online. You're not getting results. You're not getting the girl. You didn't even get the smash. Like none of that stuff. You're out money. You're embarrassed. All of these different things come about. So it's just like, what is the actual? What do you actually get from it? And if you're saying like, It's the attempt, it's the attempt. These are some expensive attempts and really not needed. Not needed. No offense to her, but the level of delusion that she has, that she walks around and people are just all like, I would say that there is a very thin line between confidence and delusion, my friends. Like, come on. But besides looks or anything like that, just like on a logical level, for it's expensive. Like, and it's like it ain't chicken if you got it. I'm seeing so much money being given to OF models and Instagram models. Some of them have their Cash App in their freaking whatchamacallit, and just for their presence. Like, stop doing this because a lot of dudes will sit up there and get upset, and this isn't all women, and that's another thing, guys. You're going after the women who do this stuff, and a lot of people be like, some dudes would be like, oh, well, I didn't know, da 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 da. Like, do look on Instagram, do these different things. You can do research prior, because a lot of times some of these girls are doing research on you, so you don't have to. There's plenty of women. There's not a deficit of women, especially good women. Like, stop flying these girls out, man. Like, it's a big L. It's not a good look. No. It, see, and here's the thing. I'll let him finish before I say what I'm gonna say. That's true. See, and it's not like, okay, it's one thing, because we hear this. It's one thing you've been talking to a woman and you get those particular vibes, even if you got those. That's what I'm trying to say. Even if you got those vibes, you've seen the stories where you've got those vibes and then she gets there and then nothing happens, because like this assumption. Oh, I flew her out. Stop flying them out. You mean in your entire city, or even the next city, or even the next city? There's no women that you could talk to. The amount of money, and I'm not saying to do this, but if that is like, guys, you have to start being real with yourself. If that is what you want to just smash, because that's what they're making. A lot of dudes are making this about. Well, if I fly you out, then you need to give me them, yams, you know what I'm saying? And it's just all like, okay, so you're spending this way, you're spending for the flight, and you're spending as far as for the wine and dine. And at the end of that, if you just want to smash, go get an escort. It probably would be cheaper. And you would probably get what it is that you wanted. I'm just like, I'm not for it, but it's just fascinating to me. Like, if you're a dude watching this, what is it? Like, what is it? I get the whole male. I've been there, like in my early 20s, as far as just being blinded by this, making decisions based on like whether or not I'm gonna get, some. And bros, it's not worth it. I'm telling you, it is not worth it. And I see it multiple times and I'm like, guys, what are y'all doing? Stop. Get some help. What else we got? I'm gonna watch them. This is like a 20-minute video. And shout out to that boy Will. That's where I'm looking at this from. The filters, man. Why she ain't turning around? As soon as you get it, that ain't even her real hair. Shopping spree. Why? Like, here's look. Y'all need some hobbies, man. Like maybe that's coming from a privileged viewpoint, and I don't mean like privileged financially. I mean like privileged creatively. Like it's actually really sad, man, because like I'm sitting up there and I'm seeing and hearing like all of this stuff. Like I'm hearing the dude. I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, different things like that, but there's certain stuff that you can just tell. Like, okay, this person is gonna do some dumb shit. Like, and he's sitting up there talking about I was gonna take you on a shopping spree. Okay, why are you guys taking women that you barely even know? He talking about he flew her out. You mean you didn't get on any phone calls? You didn't get on any video calls? You didn't get on anything prior? Hell, you could have, just to be on the safe side, you could have went out there, got yourself a hotel or whatever, and met up with, like, why are y'all doing this silly stuff? And then you sit up there and you want to record it, then you want to sit up there and post it to the public for everybody to see how stupid you are. Like, guys, I don't think you realize how silly we look. And I'm not saying you, because this is us as men, how silly we look when we do stuff like this. The fact that you flew her out and then you're posted about it, that's the L. Not the fact that she freaking, yeah, she's wrong for doing this stuff, but we're in 2023, which is why you got to move differently. Everybody's got filters and stuff like that. So if that's an important thing to you, then you're going to have to do things that guarantee the results that you want. And it's just all like it's like you want sex, but you don't want to be straight up because you feel the woman isn't going to be about it. Or you want the women who are not like that to sleep around or anything like that. You want them to be exclusive to you while you go do whatever. I, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I'll listen to a few more of these and I'm gonna get to something else. This ain't no penthouse. Sir, nah, you a fool, dude. Wow. 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 Yeah. Plus, nah, honestly, nah, this is a L on you, bro. It's a L on you, bro, and the reason being is for one, whatever $200-300 for you to fly your girl out is already a L. A girl that you met on the internet, like dudes be sitting up here, like women be sitting up here saying, how we be telling women how dangerous it is. Fellas, that's for you too. What are you doing? Flying a stranger to your house. It was an L from the beginning for you, bro. Like that's why we sit up there, we have the wrong conversations. We're like, I'm pretty sure like dudes would be sitting up there in these comment sections of these videos. We'll check it out. We'll look at some of the comment section, you know, and they would be like, all on her, like, why she do that? Women these days, da 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 da. They do what they do. If you expect, and I forgot who said this, but it's not originally mine. I think it was talking. Someone was saying DMX said this. You trust people to be themselves, like, So it's up to you. So that's what's a trip to me when I hear these particular things. It was the L for you talking to this woman on freaking line and then flying her out. That was the L. It doesn't matter how bad she looks, that was the L. Just that scenario, that was the L. And then the fact that you did go through with it, that you didn't do any type of checking, that you literally, quote unquote, got catfish, but you didn't do any type of checking of anything to make sure that was who it was that you were even talking to. Like, come, where y'all? How you got the money to fire out, but your TV's on the floor? Like, this is the backward stuff. Like, that does not make any sense. She's sitting up here saying that he said he had a penthouse or whatever. Like, guys, like we can't. We like, come on. We're gonna have to hold each other accountable. Like, seriously, man. Like, no, this was the L. Not her quote unquote catfishing you. You flying her out. That was the L. Stop doing that, guys. Stop. What else did I want to look at? Let's see. It's dope. I think the last time I did a live video was like maybe I did some chapter reviews or something with Black Clover. Which, speaking of Black Clover, shout out to Nero Mega Man because he did a video, and I might do like a screenshot. He was doing a video and he was talking about the. So there's like a preview that's dropping like next week or this week possibly. I think it might be next week. Then there's like another thing dropping on the 16th, and usually when that thing drops, the actual chapter comes out like a week later. So it looks like by way of those dates, we should be getting the new Black Clover chapter right before Christmas. Like it's like right before Christmas or the week of Christmas, I believe. So I'm excited. So what I'm thinking about doing, because now we got a little countdown. I want to like go back and see everything, just go through, maybe do some live readings, getting back up to this particular point. comb through everything, get the fresh little theories. My theories still stand. Even with the last chapter, freaking, let's see, Black Clover. I'm so glad that it still shows in here. It's just all like, yeah, Black Clover, I missed the leaks and spoilers. So, chapter 368. So, when we get chapter 369, man, ooh, 369. I don't know. There might be something magical with that. We don't know how many pages it's gonna be. We don't know like if it's gonna be multiple chapters, but we know it's gonna be long. I think that's what we do know. But even with everything that happened in chapter 368 and the ending that it left with, so we got the Black Bulls coming up, they got a super buff, Yami just got slashed by freaking Morgan, but also we got Knock and Yami's sister that comes through, which that right there is already gonna be dope. Basically, at the end, we get as far as like a remember, like, look, we got Yami versus Morgan, we got Mary Leona versus versus Morris, we got Noel versus Aesir, and then we got Lucius versus Asta and My theory, because we have to take into consideration that Lucius isn't even actually there. They're going against clones. So I think what may end up happening is there's either going to be a stalemate or there's a possibility that Lucius may retreat for now. We still have to remember Jack's dead. And there's a lot of people that we lost. It wouldn't, to me, like on the narrative, and I could be wrong, on a narrative perspective, it just doesn't make any sense to introduce as far as these paladins to, kill Jack, kill other people, and bring them back as a paladin right now. It would make more sense because, okay, now that Asta's here, Lucius has to do something different, which it could allow for a retreat for now, but then we get a comeback. Now, in with that retreat, this is where I feel like the dwarfs and Asta's father is going to be pretty much revealed during this time, and some other stuff that have been like in the wayside. I think is going to come out through this time. So it's just all like they're going to get their butt kicked still. They're still not going to be strong enough, but they're going to be at a point to where it at least probably makes Lucius retreat for now. Then they take who's left, and maybe this is where we get introduced to the dwarfs. That's my whole thinking as far as with that. So we'll see, but I already know that these are gonna be dope. These are gonna be dope. And so, oh man, it's gonna be interesting. I cannot wait for the leaks and spoilers, man. Like, oh man, just even thinking about this is super dope. And shout out to Nero Mega Man as well because he brought up a post, and it was talking about how Mimosa was originally supposed to be Asta's love interest and not Noel, basically, you know, which and it wasn't love interest as far as per se, it was Heroni was the word, but like we know what's going on. We know. Even the fact that Noelle actually says that she loves us like out of her own mouth, that just lets me know. That just lets me know. But it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, that's what's going on with Black Clover. Let's see. This is gonna be cool to chop down. Like honestly, I've never done this style before of just going live and just um going through this stuff. Dang, Tiffany Haddish has been that's so sad, man. It's like you don't want people to like you don't ultimately want their downfall. It's just it just sucks because all of us have been told and sold a particular way of doing things, and it's just all like it's unfortunate. But you know what the hell? I don't even know what that. I don't even know what that is. Oh man! But we have the choices. We have the choices to make. Like, for example, I told myself I was just all like, okay, let me do something different. I don't normally go live on YouTube, but the fact that it's there, and the fact that I can go back and download it and then chop it up for individual medium videos, and then if anything comes from that, I can chop it up in the small shorts. There's several things within this live stream. And the fact is, it feels like I've been on here a lot longer. I think it's because I did it at a very early morning, so there's not really anybody here. But that's not to say that people won't be watching this later. And that's not to say that stuff that I clip down from this won't be dope. I'm gonna smoke one more J with y'all, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Make sure I got stuff charged up. But let's see. Oh, what else did I want to look at? I was looking at maybe some like gadget stuff, because that's stuff that I don't really normally show on here, but it's stuff that I do look at. Rapping is that? Oh, you know what? Maybe talking about that might be dope because it was something that I wanted to do anyways. And shout out to Curtis King. I need to check out that platform, and I'll go through his stuff. As a matter of fact, since I got it opening it. Is that just the JPEG or the actual thing? Okay, cool. Okay, so yes, I've been wanting to do these particular talks, but again, when I'm sitting up there and I'm doing like reactions and everything like that, I pretty much got like my camera set up, which is my phone, and my microphone, and I got everything synced up, and then I go in and sync everything up. Doing it this way, I can go back into the history. Hopefully, it's loud enough to where I can pick up and sync, anything to where it syncs up so that way it shows as an actual reaction because I'm not recording this. And, that might be something that I end up doing, just to sync everything up, is I may have the Zoom going in so that way I can align it easier, with this. And I know that I can use Zoom and use other platforms. I just have to I have there's a process as far as freeing up space, different things like that. So, but I did it this way because it might have been easier. So, he's been doing some real dope stuff. This even.biz, I'm not sure what that is, but it's another place for artists to put their stuff. And I don't know if it's rivals Bandcamp. I've had Bandcamp for a minute, so we're gonna go through that after we hear this. So, why Charleston White begs men to stop rapping after 30? I'm 32, about to be 33, so this is directly talking to me. So what does he have to say? That's what we're gonna get into, and we'll hear Curtis King. Wow. Wow. That okay. Oh, what was it say? Yeah. Mm. Wow. 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 Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. What do you mean? Wow. Okay. Okay. Before he gets into that, before we hear what Curtis King has to say, I just want to say what I have to say. As a 32-year-old hip hop artist, independent artist who has been able to do a lot of really cool stuff, it's like he's wrong and right at the same time. Let me explain. You can market a 30 something year old. Why? Because there's other 30 something year olds that are working, that are trying to push their dream, that are trying to do these particular type of things. You can market it. Now, is it gonna be different than the typical, you know, youth as far as like, okay, we could just, get him swagged out, make sure he's got this, and this, da 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 da, because we see what that is in a Drake. There was this video that I want to look at, and it was explaining the difference between Kendrick and Drake and the difference between aging and maturing. I would say someone like a Drake is aging versus a Kendrick is maturing as far as their music and maybe their own life in general. You know, the artist that Charleston White is talking about is a very specific rapper and not all rappers. And that's why I like hearing Curtis King's thoughts and opinions on this, because he would be one of the other rappers. I would be one of the other rappers. We aren't the typical, like, trying to push, like, being on the streets or um, selling drugs or shooting up, other black men, none of that stuff. So there's people in their 30s, in their 40s. I understand a lot of his stuff is trolling, but it's just all like, and again, you gotta look at how some people are raised, and take whatever it is that anyone says and form your own opinion. I think that was a big part of me growing up, is just forming my own opinion. you would hear certain things and be like, okay, this person said this, that sounds about right. Let's, go after it and not do extra research stuff that is opposite your thoughts and opinions of things, research stuff that you normally, it's just different to expand your brain. Now, as far as like the sad thing is that I see it often, especially in 30s. And there's a video that I seen, and it may have been on Curtis King channel, or it may have just been a clip in general. But hip hop's the only genre that people seem to want to keep. It doesn't want it to mature. Like the quote unquote powers to be doesn't want it to mature. It wants it to stay at a particular level. And I don't think that that's right, because it's the only genre that does that. Almost the only medium that does that. Because the example that I heard in the clip, look at a lot of the New York Times best-selling authors. A lot of them are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. You know, they get cheered on for writing past 30. The longer they write, other genres of music, rock, punk, country. These people can sit up there, drop an album in the 50s, and no one's just like, what are you still playing your guitar for? You don't hear that. But with hip hop, oh, what are you doing still rapping? Aren't you too old for that? Like, but it could be, again, hip hop is a fairly young, it just literally has a guy, it just at 50 years old, you know that lets you know as far as maturity and as far as how long that ish takes. But let's see what Curtis King has to say. That was funny
It's
though.
something about Charleston White's delivery that makes me want to know more about why he has come to this conclusion.
Yeah.
First of all, it don't seem like it comes from a malicious place. And second of all, it don't come from a place where it's like he's mincing his words. You're like, that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. Why do you say that after 35, we just need to give it up? Or who needs to give it up? You got to be ready to crash out. A few of your partners got to be young enough to go to jail. Nah, you past 30, stop it. So you think that's the mark for rap, 30 years old? Really, once your brain starts developing. So around 25, 26, 27, if you don't look like you got it, stop. When I listen to this now, I think what's important to know is that it seems like he's talking to a certain demographic of rappers
Exactly.
that still have aspirations for the record business,
Hmm.
have aspirations to be like on BET, have aspirations to be
Yeah.
a superstar, to win the Grammys.
That's
Right?
what
To
I
have
was.
all the
That's what I
crazy
was saying.
streaming
It's a
numbers, the social
very
media viral numbers. I
certain
think he's talking
rapper.
about those. There are rappers that are around my age that are still holding on to the idea that they can be an 18-year-old phenom. Nigga, you're 35. It's
Yeah.
time to rearrange those goals.
Yeah.
Nobody said to quit.
Yeah.
It's time
Exactly.
to rearrange those goals.
Yeah.
Because now the optics have changed.
Yeah.
Let's not try to be a hater to anybody. Your demographic has changed. Now,
Exactly.
if you're 35 and you're trying to appeal to 18 and 19-year-olds, there's some that may even call that predatory. What are we doing? It's time to reevaluate. But you can't keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. In your 20s, you was known in the streets for rapping. You coming up on your 30s. By now, you probably got a kid. A woman that has that, believe me, damn, live together. And she's supposed to rest her future on you becoming a rapper when they don't sign rappers no more. Can you be mad at the information? This is not an attack. Why the hell
Yeah.
would I want to cover a video about somebody that I feel like is maliciously attacking older rappers when I myself am considered an older rapper? Even though in the great scheme of things, I got 40 and 50-year-olds that still call me a baby.
Yeah.
I've always said for the
Seriously.
longest, there ain't nothing wrong with whatever your age is and having aspirations and dreams. With this added caveat, as long as you're taking care of your responsibilities
Yeah.
and you're doing what you can to make ends meet.
Yeah.
To me, that's just, in my opinion, the definition of what being a stand-up man is.
Yeah.
You take care of your responsibilities. If you have dreams, you fund those dreams. You don't ask people around you to fund those for you, especially the deeper you get in your 30s and
Yeah.
eventually your 40s. Rapping niggas ain't getting signed and getting money no more. Rapping niggas got to show up already with money. Yeah, they got to already have the following. And these niggas ain't got it. Yeah, no, ain't nobody riding around listening to these shit. Their friends ain't doing it, their girls ain't doing it, nobody. There are niggas in their 30s right now who are irresponsible, whether they are rapping, whether
Yeah.
they are on the
Yeah.
corner begging somebody for money. Now, nobody homeless. Somebody with the full capability to get out there and work, and they sitting out here pandering to homies, asking homies to pay like food. We're not talking about the successful 30-year-old rappers.
Yeah.
You gotta stop putting them in that bunch because it's an insult to them. Those are businessmen. This
Yeah. If y'all, want to see what else he has to say, definitely go check out this video. I seen it before. I don't know if he had to take it down and put it back up. But everything that he's saying, Curtis King, I agree with. And with aspects, it's like what Charleston White is saying, it's not wrong for that type of artist. You know what I mean? It's not literally, it's not wrong for that particular type of artist. But there's a lot of context missing, and that's not every artist, or what every artist is trying to do. I know for me, my thing is being able, and the video is called Why Charleston White Begs Men to Stop Rapping After 30, and that's on Curtis King's channel. Um, for me, it's being able to consistently generate the income that is needed to sustain a healthy, productive lifestyle off of my thoughts and ideas and my creations. And what people don't realize is that takes time. You actually getting it off the jump is actually the worst thing because you think that that is supposed to be consistent. The shit goes like this, man. Up and down, up and down, up and down. You know, and no matter what it is that you're doing. So that's why when I hear stuff and people saying that rappers need to stop at 30, if you're talking about like the block or da da da, the thing is, you just need to be authentic. If you're actually doing that stuff, you know, that no one can get mad, that you're talking about your life, but a lot of times that isn't your life. It may be your life as far as you go to the club. Like, honestly, this goes back to the whole flying the girl out stuff as far as that. That the dude on there sounds like he's the rapper that Charleston Rap is talking about. He may not even be a rapper, but just that whole dumbass choice of choices, like that pattern of thinking plays out in different things, and it's just all like there is a different way of doing things. You can be, it may not be this person selling out stadiums, da, 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 but you may be. It just may not be the big stadium that people know, but there's pretty much stadiums in lots of different places. Like, it can happen, but we just need to stop thinking that our success is one way and that making it is only one way, because it's not. There's plenty of examples. Curtis King being one of them. Like, this is the time, and I'm realizing it more and more myself. That's why I'm taking advantage of this, because I'm just all like, oh, okay, I know what I'm able to do with this later. So if you made it this far on without this being a chopped down version, then kudos to you. You are the MVP. But yeah, Curtis King is an example, and the thing is, I got to open up for him and Merce. back in 2012, 2013, I think it's a paid dues tour. They came through Texas, and I was on one of the shows opening up for them. And to see where he was at then, to seeing what he's done, to seeing where he's at now, a lot of it is following in some of the same footsteps. Him and artists like Blueprint, you know, Merce, like them having books that just made me. And with Merce, it was the comic book. Like that's like for me, my first book is a fiction book that I wrote. Blueprint, his was like a nonfiction story about like the album that he was doing at the time, which was really dope. And I got to see a lot of parallels with his life and mine, that was really cool. Curtis King's dropped as far as like different things like as far as for helping artists and different things like that. So it's dope. That's why I listen to what he says, because as far as a version of success, as far as feeling successful, I would say that what he's got going on would be close to like what my version of being what it is that you can do with this. It basically is that there's different aspects, but when I put my list together of like examples of what it is that I'm trying to achieve, and people who have that, I'm just all like, Curtis King is one of them. I could definitely say that. So yes, he just did these sales. Let me go through the whole thing. So this was crazy. So he has this Storm Symphony album, and I think the story behind that was he's been doing a lot of the community building. And so now he has this project that he gets to focus on that for a little bit. There was an issue with Spotify, and he removed the stuff off of there, and he was looking for a new place as far as to have his project. He says that on this new even.biz place, he sold his first album ever for $100. This is what he's made today with 16 purchases made. Look at this. You know, now here's the other thing. End of the day, even sales for Storm Symphony is 1.3K. That is equivalent to 377,400 streams. He sold $200 albums on a Monday. Thank you, DIYers and album listeners. So I've been peeping game, because when Charleston White says something like people don't have CD, da 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 da. No, people still buy. You just have to understand why they're buying it. You have to look at it as a piece of a collection. You know, it's not to be like, yo. But again, he wasn't talking about as far as the person that's selling. He was talking about the person that was just going around passing out the CD. As a person who's trying to get yourself out there in 2023, yeah, the CD, as far as passing it out, you may save a lot more money by just getting a card, download card, or passing out a USB or something that they can access it digitally, because he does have a point as far as that. As far as the pass it out for people to listen to, that's where, but as far as selling it as a product, as a collectible, that's more so what I'm talking about. So this is really dope with Curtis King. This is inspirational. This is, and let me actually say that. Charleston White shit. Can you do a bit on even this? Okay, yeah. So let me drop that. Curtis King dropped you a comment because yeah, I am interested in understanding how this even.biz works because to me it just seems like it is like Bandcamp. So that's why I'm just all like, is it just that? Which if it is, that's cool because I like Bandcamp. I just am trying to understand why he just didn't have it on Bandcamp. So that's interesting. Like that, I asked him if he could do a video on it. I might do some research on it myself. Let's see if anything pops up. Even dot is versus Bandcamp. Bandcamp. Why don't more artists use Bandcamp? I don't know. Like Bandcamp, I've literally been using Bandcamp for um like over 10 years. You know, that's why I'm confused and Curtis King knows about Bandcamp. You know, so that's why I'm like, okay, what is the difference between even and Bandcamp? So that's what I'm looking. It says empowering artists and fans. It's all about access, music first, community, exclusive access, buy the art from the artist. So LaRussell's on. I think I've seen them do some stuff with LaRussell. I'm just so confused. Like, what? How is this different from Bandcamp? Of course, like the layout is different as far as things, but all right, monetize music like never before. Can sell their music directly to fans before uploading it to streaming platforms. Make even your premiere platform. But you can do that with Bandcamp. And I'm not saying that there can't be multiple things. It's just interesting. So he's been with it since 2020 to 2022. Before even, oh, that's what he said. That's how he made in streaming revenue with even the first month on the platform, backed by more than 4,000 fans. Wow. Dang, that's really dope. Connect directly with your fans, own your fan data, connect with fans, get paid daily. There's room for both, sell music, stream. That's cool that they show this information, boost your streaming success. leading to more conversation. I guess maybe it's more so like the funnel. I'll do some research on this. I'll do even biz even.biz versus Bandcamp. What's the difference? That would be like the title of this video, and that would be kind of like the start. Um, but yeah, and like I said, it made it sounded like I was just like trying to go in on even. My thing was just like on the. My thing is trying to simplify as far as the process of everything. So if there, to me, I'm just like, if there's already a platform that does this, and that's what, to me, that's what Bandcamp is, then I would need to know what else is going on that makes this it, and then sign up, is it free? Do you have to pay as far as anything? Um, begin your journey. I mean, I'll definitely, let's see, continue with Google. Let's see. Oh man, guys, I am toasty. Let's see. Come on, come on, come on. For artists. Profile picture, sign up, image examples. Okay, so, okay, this is, I'll check this out later. I'll check this out later. It might be in the part two of the even versus Bandcamp. But anyways, guys, we've been live streaming for over an hour. We definitely went through a whole journey of sorts. Yeah. So holla at me. Peace.